which side is going to regret this more, not getting the deal done? Is it the Cowboys or is it Dak?
It's the Cowboys for the reason that Tim pointed out yesterday, which is also a point that, we've been discussing, for it seems like a year now. The issue is this. The time to do the deal wasn't even now. The time to do the deal was when he was making $2 million a year for the last couple of years and clearly outperforming the contract. And whatever you thought about where he was eventually headed, you probably could have gotten him even for a lot less than you're paying him today. That was the time to get the deal done. They were penny wise and pound foolish, as the saying used to go. And now they face this situation. Now, it's not without risk for Dak, because we don't know what's going to happen. Everyone just assumes a new TV money and it's going to kick in and it's going to go to the players. We don't know about the economic outlook in our greater economy for the foreseeable future. Still no vaccination available. We don't know what the world is going to look like or for how long some kind of a new normal is going to be established. And so there's some economic uncertainty. In addition, Patrick Mahomes reset the market on a team-friendly deal. And so that kind of keeps these guys, the other quarterbacks' prices a little down. But even considering that stuff, the Cowboys now, I believe Dak will remain a Cowboy, but now that's open to question. The percentage chance goes down a little bit. And he also likely gets a little more expensive going forward. So the fact that they didn't get a deal done now, it's more likely for the Cowboys to regret it than for Dak. And already, the Cowboys should regret not getting a deal done a year and a half ago.
Well, my gratitude to you knows no limits, Max Kellerman. Thank you for taking that position, because it was 9 different positions, which means that whatever position I take is going to mirror yours. You're with the Cowboys, but you understand Dak, but you understand the Cowboys, you understand Dak, because that's exactly where I was going about Dak Prescott. The fact of the matter is you could be susceptible to injury. The global pandemic is in vogue. So as a result of that, they're going to lose money this year. You never know, with the fans not being in attendance or what have you. That's going to compromise his bottom line, which leads to him ultimately regretting it a little bit more than the Cowboys. Thank you very much, Max. But here's the reason why I really got to thank you. This is the beautiful thing. No matter what the scenario, it lends itself towards potential Cowboy misery. And that's a beautiful thing to me. I mean, just think about it for a second here. If he plays lights out, all right, he gets his money, okay? If he doesn't play lights out, they'll probably stink and miss the playoffs. That means Cowboy fans are miserable come Thanksgiving, come Christmas. I can't be more grateful to the Cowboys than I was last holiday season, Tim, when they lost all the way from right before Thanksgiving, all the way through Christmas, losing like 5 or 6 weeks is the best holiday season that I've had in the modern era. I couldn't thank the Cowboys enough. But in the end, what it comes down to again is this. Dak is going to play ball, and Jerry Jones is going to be hurt to give him that money, or he's not going to play well, and Cowboys are going to lose, and as a result, their fans are going to be miserable. Either way, it seems like I'm getting something I want out of the deal, so I'm good.
It's a win-win, you're saying.
Listen, there's a lot I agree with. I just want to make this one correction, Max. He has been making a couple $1 million for a couple of years. In 2018, he made $630,000. Think about that. Right. It's a $5 billion franchise, according to Forbes. And he made, in 2018, he made $630,000. That was, you're right in terms of that was the time to do the deal. The only distinction is he was making a heck of a lot less money than $2 million a year at that point. So, look, the Cowboys are absolutely the loser in this. There's no question about it. Dak will eventually make his money. You think about Kirk Cousins, playing on the tag, and then getting a 3-year deal fully guaranteed, made about $130 million over that 5-year stretch. For Dak, over the 5-year stretch, it's going to be much closer to $200 million, and then beyond that, obviously, a lot more. He'll end up getting his money, and ultimately, that's what a player is trying to accomplish in the window of that earning potential in their career. And for the Dallas Cowboys, here's the deal. If you can't, because of the economics, keep Dak Prescott, you could be in a really bad situation next year in terms of your starting quarterback, but certainly beyond that. Like, what is your answer going to be? Because I think we would all agree, even though, Stephen A. is rooting for the misery of Cowboys fans, they've built a pretty good roster there in Dallas. And if Dak gives you good, solid play with Mike McCarthy as the head coach, you're not going to be picking at the top of the draft. So when Dak is no longer your starting quarterback, who's it going to be a year from now or 2 years from now? I don't know who you're going to have access to at that point, and that's a problem if you're the Cowboys.
Well,
I'm good with it.
Okay,
That sounds good to me.
I mean, I'll say this. I'll say this. The Eagles drafted a guy who some people think can be a successful NFL quarterback. There seem to be quarterbacks, for as much as people talk about there are no quarterbacks available, there seem to be a couple rookies every year now that perform better than rookies used to. And rookies of the past, certainly, we just had Kyler Murray on the show earlier, and he's the #1 overall pick. But Daniel Jones and others, I mean, the ship still hasn't sailed on some others as well who really haven't had a lot of playing time. Name brand quarterbacks change teams all the time nowadays. 3 that jump to mind this last season are Tom Brady, Cam Newton, and I don't know if you consider Teddy Bridgewater a name brand quarterback. His win-loss record in the pros suggests he is. So I don't know that finding a quarterback is quite as difficult as people make it out to be, particularly if the value you're getting over that replacement is Dak Prescott and not, Patrick Mahomes or someone like that.
Well, listen, you picked some good names, but you can't leave out Mitchell Trubisky and Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston. Like, it's a 50-50 proposition at best when you're talking about quarterbacks even in the first round. And so what I would say is that Dak Prescott's going to be 27 years old, in a few days. Look, you could have him as your starting quarterback for the next decade with the way quarterbacks are playing into their 40s. So like at a minimum, maybe the next 8 years, you would have solid quarterback play out of Dak Prescott.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.